welcome back to another episode of I said Beyond the Vials, guys, of Uncommon Faith. Oh my gosh, as you can see, it's a Tuesday, right? So welcome back. My name is LaFlower. I'm super excited to have you guys in for this show because we're going to be talking about some great stuff, and I cannot wait to share with you guys the sister check for the night. Hopefully, I just think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. But guys, you are in for a super duper treat tonight. We're going to be talking about, the steps that you take when you finally honor your calling. When you finally just say, you know what, Lord, this is it. I'm going to do it. And then what it feels like when you actually find your voice and you appreciate your voice or your oil, as I call it with, some of my coaching clients. It's like, because sometimes I'll just use me, for example. So many times I thought that I would get frustrated when someone didn't accept my oil, or when someone didn't accept my voice, my point of view, my giftings, my talents. I would get discouraged, and I would get frustrated. So tonight we're going to jump into what it feels like to really honor and accept your calling, and to rock out with your voice, to share your voice or your oil with the world the way that God has ordained it to happen. So as we begin to jump in, I'm going to go ahead and welcome one of our friends to the show. You guys know her. You should love her by now. Miss Regina Brown. If she's here, go ahead and come on in the studio, in the virtual studio. Uh-oh. Who you over there fussing at? You got your fussing face on.
My screen is frozen, so I can't see you.
Oh my gosh. Can you see me now?
No.
Oh my gosh, she having technical difficulties. It's one of those Tuesdays, but guys, you know what? And I'm pretty sure you guys have heard the news, have saw the news. So in the words of an amazing poet that I really like, I'm going to say today was a good day. Anybody know that poet who would say today was a good day? Now, guys, if you are watching from one of our podcast platforms, definitely, I'm going to tell you guys to leave us a comment, to rate our show. We definitely want to hear from you. There you are, Regina. Am I still frozen?
No, it was me.
Awesome. And guys, if you are watching from Facebook or YouTube, definitely like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and share this video because we're going to be talking about some good stuff tonight. And so, Regina, I was just telling everybody, I feel like I've been running with like a chicken with my head cut off today.
Yes,
that's what we used to say back in the country, growing up. That's what my mama used to say when we was just got so much stuff going on, but right. It's organized chaos. It's good business coming in. I'm excited about a lot of the new projects that I'm working on. But I was talking about, I'm pretty sure everyone has saw the news, heard the news. And I was saying, in the words of an amazing poetic man that I really appreciate, I believe he said, today was a good day.
Yes, today was a good day.
And if anybody knows who that is, definitely drop his name in the comments below.
Come on, they know. They know.
I hope they know who he is. He's amazing, right? And he's always, that I like that song, So, but tonight, guys, we're going to talk about really first accepting your calling, and then honoring your voice or your oil when it comes to that calling, right? But before we jump into that, you guys know the first segment of the show. I know God is real because now, Regina, I know you have so many testimonies, or I could share another one. What you got?
No, come on, let me hear what you want to share with us today.
So
I might throw a little one in there when you finish. Let's see.
Okay, all right. So, guys, like I said, I have so many. So I know God is real because some angels pulled me out of a fire. Like for real. Some angels pulled me out of a fire. So guys, growing up, like I said, I'm a country girl. We used to burn trash. Anybody? I don't know if there's any people.
We didn't have a trash pickup.
Yeah, we didn't have no trash pickup coming down the street. We didn't have who we have best trash, the little red and black truck. We didn't have that coming down the street. So we used to have to burn our trash sometimes or take it other places to dispose of it. And so, yes, ma'am.
Disclaimer. We did not dump trash on no back streets.
Oh no.
We were not backstreet trash dumpers. Okay.
No, we didn't. No, we took it to other trash collecting places to dispose of the trash properly, people. Okay.
Yes,
So guys, for this one, so if anybody knows me or you may not know, my father, awesome gentleman, he was killed when I was 17, but amazing 17 years with him. He was a paraplegic. That just means that he was paralyzed from the waist down. And so he was in a wheelchair. You couldn't have told me that my father had a disability. We didn't even say that word. We didn't, because he still was my Superman, right? So, but one day, my dad was out in the front yard burning trash off. And this is how I know God is real. We were running, I don't know where Regina was. I don't know where.
right there.
You was in the yard. I don't know if you was like right there when it happened.
Right there.
So we were out there burning trash, guys. And so my dad's in the wheelchair. So he's out there with us next to the trash. Like he's minding the fire and stuff like that, making sure we're good. You know, you got to soak the ground around it, make sure you got the water hose, all that good stuff. And so there was this tire that my dad told me to pick up. Gina, what you over there looking at? There was this tire, guys, that my dad told me to pick up and throw in the trash. Now, I don't even remember exactly how old I was. I know I was less than 10. Was I less than 10?
No, ma'am.
I was bigger than that?
Yes, ma'am, you were.
So maybe no more than 12 then. No more than 12. I wasn't, it was like early middle school. Okay. So I got this tire. I threw this tire in the fire. So I got weight on me now, y'all. I think I'm a little voluptuous now. I'm a little juicy now. But my nickname growing up was olive oil. That's what they used to tease me and call me, was olive oil, because I was like this. Couldn't put weight on me for nothing. And so me and my little olive oil self was throwing this tire into the fire. And somehow my little long arms did not release the tire in time. And the tire took me into the fire.
Yes, it did.
Took me into the fire. So guys, I am face to face with flames, with
in the flames.
I'm in there. I'm literally in the fire. My dad's like right here. He can't get up and pull me out of the fire. I don't know if Gina was there running around hollering like, call 911. No. But
the angels put you in my hands.
All I know, when I fell into the fire, guys, it was hot. That's all I remember was hot. Then all of a sudden, I felt something pull and lift me out of the fire. And
my God.
I know I was in the fire because you guys probably can't see the scars, but all of this was burned, like deep burns, tissue gone, and then on one of my knees. So when I went into the fire, landed on one arm and one knee. And so as something pulled me out of that fire, that's how I know God is real. And so it took me a while. I don't know what concoction my daddy mixed up. I don't know what he had, but it worked. And I literally was just in the bed for about a week or so because I was just in so much pain from the burns. And he was just doctoring those burns for me. And it was just one of those experiences where you know that I like how when God moves, when he removes all ifs, this could have been, that could have been, he removes all of that. Because my dad was physically in a wheelchair. He was in a wheelchair since before I was born. I was born with him being in the wheelchair. So this wasn't like, there's no way he could have gotten up and pulled me out of that fire. So Regina, what do you remember from that experience?
Honestly, my most vivid memory is after the fire, when we got you in the house and had you laid out across the couch, and we were literally having prayer session over you, praying over you, me, mama, daddy, like we was going in because it was like, Lord,
Really?
you gotta move right now. And
What?
with, of course, just sitting back and reflecting on it, we was like, she didn't take herself out of that fire. We know you did not take yourself out of that fire, yet you were standing. It's like you were down and out. And I mean, I just give God all the glory because I'm sorry, but that was nothing short of a miracle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now I guess me being in a state of shock, I didn't even know you guys were praying over me. Like literally all I remember is fire in the bed and dad's putting this ointment on me. And but I was just so in so much pain and just so out of it. Like I said, literally, and I think I was in their room. Like I took over their room. I didn't
Yeah,
sleep in my
you
bed.
missed the whole living room because we took from the outside straight into the living room, spread you out on the couch, and was going in some prayer. And I know I left for school, so I was there when it happened, but I was waiting for my friend to pick me up, and I was leaving for school that same day. And so I was like,
So
oh
that's how
my
you knew I
God.
was a little bit older because you were already in
Yes,
college at that time.
yes. It's like you was no less than 13.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. So y'all, boom, there it is. Another example of how I know God is real. But I tell you, it's really before we jump into the topic, it's funny how we can have all of these examples. We can experience God in so many different ways, but I still question God when I got older.
Still
Needless
doubting.
to say,
Yes.
I can relate. I know God is real because I escaped from a house. Oh, Jesus on fire. I almost died of the smoke. Inhalation, was hospitalized for a while, but I believe wow.
Oh my
My
God.
God. To God be the
To
glory.
God be the
To
glory.
God be
Come
the
on
glory.
now.
See,
Come
that,
on now.
it's like,
We could spend the whole hour having testimony service up in here talking about how good God is and why we know He is real.
right.
Come
That's why I
on.
love this part of the show because it just reminds us. And sometimes we need that reminder that we know God is real. Tell Raina we doing the show right now. Raina, we doing the
I've been
show right
trying to
now, baby.
whisper in my ear. Can you see me?
I know your faces. But that's why I love doing this part of the show because it just reminds us because I was saying that even though we've experienced all of that, have so many different like cars flipping over the freeway coming and landing on the opposite side with oncoming traffic. And my son got out of that car with nothing.
Nothing.
That's another week, y'all.
Jesus.
I'm gonna find those pictures and post that one for that testimony. But I still question God. I still question him. I still question my faith when I got older. I still question, whether or not he was real. I still question or not this Trinity that I was brought up believing in, that if this Trinity was real and if it was really for me. Because, and as we transition into this purpose walk, we see so many people, living the way they want to live, calling on whatever God they want to call on, doing what they want to do. And sometimes I just felt like their lives were better than mine but yet it's like, God, are you real? Because it looks from the outside looking in, it's looking like they doing pretty darn good over there. But I'm over here trying to live right, trying to do right, trying not to, to be that woman, to be that girl. But it got hard. But I tell you this, when I began to really understand God more and understand that, y'all are so funny. I'm going to have to make some memes off of your faces on here. Uncommon Faith memes with Regina faces. I'm just going to have to go screen capture because you're just hilarious. But, I still question God, but it wasn't until I really started to not see God as, this distant being that I really accepted him as my father. I really started to understand Abba Father. And I understood his love. I understood that sometimes God will set you apart for a reason. that there
Absolutely.
is
Come
a
on.
calling, when there is a certain calling or a certain anointing on your life, that you will be set apart, that you can't go places that everybody go. You can't go do
That's right.
everything that everybody else does, because, he has, uniquely made you for a certain task in a certain time.
Absolutely.
Now, as we jump into the calling, one thing that I realize is that sometimes we think our calling should exist throughout our entire life, right?
That's
We
it.
want to walk in our calling every single day, but sometimes our entire life is a prerequisite to get us to the point for us to have the impact that we were ordained to have, and that may be for a year, that may be for 10 years, that may be for 2 years, and that just may be for a moment.
That's it.
To have a soul connection with somebody else to help them along their journey. We may just be a connector, but we get so caught up in the seasons that everybody else is in, and we get frustrated.
Comparing and competing. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Comparing ourselves to others. And I think, honestly, what you just said, that's Jesus. That describes Jesus's journey, right? He spent the majority of his life preparing and in that cave. And then when it was time for him to come out, he ministered for what, 3 years? Like that's it.
Right. But because of the culture and the society that we live in, we want to be on all the time. Like, we want to be
absolutely.
on. We want to be shining bright like the diamond all of the time. We don't want to do that consistent behind the scenes work. Right.
And that reminds me of something that my pastor says, Pastor Williams. He often reminds me that it's okay if you don't have a word to deliver, thus says the Lord, this, that, or the third, constantly, because there are many prophets in the Bible days that has brought one word that's reported, or years and years would pass between the word that they brought, right? And so, but when that word comes, the impact, right, is immeasurable. So absolutely, you're not going to always be on. You're not going to always be constantly getting the word, and just using that as an example. And then we find ourselves trying to force things and make things happen that God did not say, or he did not tell you to do. Because we won't feel like we got to be moving. We got to be doing something. Something has to be happening and progressing and all of this. But we got to remember he has the big picture, right? So we have to just sit back and learn to trust.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I've been doing this study of prophetic women or prophets in the Bible that we really don't hear about a lot. And I don't have my notes in here, but I know her name is Huldah, Huldah.
Okay. Yes, I've seen her.
Right. And she was used for one specific time. I don't want to misquote, but I want to say it was King Josiah, one of the J's. And they found these tablets in the temple. They found like the tablets, the law in the temple. And he started raising hell. He started like, we got to get right. We got to get right. And then, but what I love about it is that he understood that he needed to seek wise counsel. He needed to seek the voice of God. And in my study during this time, there were other prophetic people around. There were other prophetic men, more known prophetic men in the Bible. Other women, Deborah could have been around. Other people could have been around, or Deborah, for all of my scholars, all of my saints, and all of my saints who it's Deborah. But hey, I don't want nobody coming for me tonight. But he went and sought out her. Okay. He went and sought out her, and she told him, like, because because you are honoring God's words, he's going to protect you. He's not going to bring wrath into your people.
Mm-hmm.
Your life is going to be good. And then God took care of
Yes.
what he needs to take care of after them. But the thing is, she was in line. She
Right.
was in position for her purpose. She wasn't known. It's only a few scriptures in the Bible that talks about her, but the
Mm-hmm.
impact that she had on that king, the impact that she
Yes.
had on that season, you can't
Come
take
on.
that away from her. You
Mm.
can't take that away from her. So no, hallelujah. No, whoever listening tonight, you may not be Sarah Jakes, you may not be TD Jakes, you may not be this big person, but I guarantee you, if you continue to walk in your purpose, if you
Come
honor
on.
your voice, if you honor your calling, whatever it is, whatever platform it is, you are honoring what God put you here to do. I love the analogy,
Yes.
Regina, that you use with Jesus, that his ministry was only for a certain amount of years, and that's what we gotta stop trying to be the it person for so many seasons, right? The other thing
Mm.
is going to be the voice, right? Oh,
That's the
let me go
key
back to
word.
the one more thing with the purpose.
Season.
When I realized I had to stop forcing my wants, because we all the time we go to write the vision and make it plain. We go and write, we go and tell God, you gonna do this.
This what
God,
I
I'm gonna do
yes.
this, right? And it's cool to petition God for certain things, but God
Mm-hmm.
tells us He's not gonna give us things if it's gonna bring us down, if it's gonna cause turmoil in our lives, if it's gonna pull us out of who He has put us here to be, right?
Yeah. If we're not ready, if we don't have the capacity for it.
Right, right. But one thing I realized that I had to really stop, because so many of my clients say, like, what is my purpose? I need to know my purpose. And a lot of times, and you already know, it's right there in front of you.
Yes.
It's right there
Yes.
in front of you. Pro tip, guys, go back to your childhood. Go back to your childhood. What did you do
That's
with
it.
ease? What did you do
That's
with
it.
ease? What did you do, that brought you joy, that brought you pleasure? Because we grow up, we jump into this culture and we're picking careers based on salary, right?
You see me?
When we're not picking careers based on our gifts and our talents, which is going to bring us fulfillment. That's why we're some empty shells walking around, because we're living for the paycheck instead of living and allowing the paycheck to come to us.
That's
That's
right.
some
But you
testimonies.
said a key thing. You said a key thing. Go back. Because yes, that has been a question that I hear as well so often. It's like, what is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? What am I here to do? And we have to realize that we all have been given a set of gifts and talents, right?
Right,
And it is something that you do, and you do it so well, better than anybody else around you. And you're probably the person that everybody comes to for this particular thing. That is your gift. That is your
right,
talent. And
right,
that is what you should be capitalizing on. That is what you should be using to sow or what have you. So, yes, absolutely. What do we do
right.
that
And,
like
and, and
nobody
sometimes
else?
it feels guilty. Sometimes, like recently, I ain't gonna tell y'all the whole testimony, but the Lord then blessed your girl. Then blessed your girl. 48-hour turnaround.
Yes, he did. Glory.
But guys, I'm
Won't
telling
he do
you,
it?
sometimes I would feel guilty being paid for the gifts that God has given me. I would feel guilty. For me, everybody got a business mind the way that everybody looks at business the way I look at it. Everybody looks at scaling your business. Everybody looks at, okay, the details that it
No.
takes to really launch your business. Even though I haven't launched a multi-million-dollar business, God has given me the gifts and the insight. I recognize that now in order to help people scale their business up to where it needs to go. But for me, that comes naturally. I've always been a problem solver. I would be
Yes.
in the garage taking stuff apart, putting stuff together,
Putting it
you
back
know.
together.
and
And
I
so what
just,
you said, just to hit that, right? Come on now. I think some of it is cultural, especially when what you're doing has anything to do with the ministry in any form or fashion. we feel a sense of guilt, right? Being compensated for what we do. And then again, oftentimes we choose to give it away because we don't realize how valuable the gift is. We don't realize our own value in our talent. And just like yourself, absolutely, you do not know your value. I'm glad you're starting to get it. But everybody calls LaFlower for a reason. I call LaFlower on a regular for a reason. Okay. And when my phone rings, it's for something specific. Again, problem solvers. But I'm a different type of problem solver. I solve different problems than you do.
Right.
Right.
That's a part of business, right? In business, it's like and I tell my clients, what problem are you solving for the world right now? That's all that business is. You're a problem.
What need are you meeting? Absolutely.
Right. You're monetizing on you being able to solve people's problems. That's it. All right. Now let's jump into. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if anyone is listening right now that has a business idea, something that has been heavy in your spirit and it keeps coming back and it just keeps coming back. It might be year after year, month after month. I don't know how long it's been hitting you, but it keeps coming to you for a reason. And if you just don't know how to get started or what to do, and oftentimes that's what holds us back out of fear and just lack of knowledge. It's like, I don't know where to start, right? Well, I can tell you that LaFlower, that is what she does.
Really?
That is her gift. So I encourage a calibration session that she does offer for free, right? To help you get started and get you some direction. It helped me.
You are something else. You're something else. But that brings me up. I'm super excited about this new project that I'm working on. And again, I feel guilty that I get to work with so many amazing people, no
good in that.
With helping them, with this prophetic business calibration session that I'm doing with them. So I'm super excited about that because it doesn't feel like work, Holy Spirit just fall and we just go to work. But let's go ahead and jump into commercial real quick, and then we'll come back and talk about your voice and how you got to realize that sometimes your voice isn't for everybody. And guess what? That's cool.
Life is better when you are living on purpose, but many times we get stuck in the rat race and in the mundane task of our day-to-day lives, causing most to lose sight of their purpose. That's why certified life coach, inner healer, and business strategist LaFlower Bowie is here to help you get calibrated to your calling through proven systems, techniques, and resources. Order a copy of her book, Principles to Reposition, to assist you with your journey, or schedule a free clarity session to kickstart the journey. After these sessions, clients have stated they found clarity and opened their eyes to things they had long forgotten. So get social and follow LaFlower on all social media platforms at LaFlower Bowie. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Uncommon Faith. I got it right this time, where we're talking tonight about really honoring your calling, accepting your calling, and rocking out with it, and just knowing that it's okay. Now, the next part of that is going to be really honoring your voice. And I know at the beginning of the show, Regina, I said that sometimes I would be discouraged when some of the people that was in my network, they didn't value some of those gifts and talents, because in different areas, I'm a visionary. I can see things, and how things are going to work out. But I used to get so discouraged when, especially in business, when I'm working with people and I'm giving suggestions and insights and we need to move this way. And I'm just completely, it just falls on deaf ears. It's like, nope,
right.
They
don't see the value.
Right. But now 3, 4, 5 years later, that's exactly where everything is. Right. And so that really took a toll on me, because I'm like, Lord, you've given me this. I'm sharing this like I'm supposed to, but they're not honoring what you're giving me or what I'm feeling. And for me, I have to realize, and now I kind of call my voice my oil, right? Because your words should be oily, when you're speaking and
Absolutely.
pouring into people, right?
Come on, that's
Your
good.
words are anointed, right? Your words should speak life into people. Your words should encourage
Yes.
people. Your words should give people confirmation that they're waiting on. Your words shouldn't tear people down. Your words shouldn't do those things. Okay, thank you. Hallelujah.
Come on.
But
Somebody needs that.
but I had to realize that it wasn't that my words were not oily enough or my words were not anointed enough, because I know my calling. It was
Right.
just I was talking to the wrong audience.
You just said a whole
I was talking to the wrong audience, right?
That's
And
it.
so sometimes you got to reposition yourself. And there's one thing that I teach in these business and calibration sessions is you got to get beyond. Some people say 3 degrees. I say you got to get beyond 6 degrees,
6.
right? You got to get beyond those 6 degrees of knowing people in order for your oil or your words to really fall and hit the way that God intended them to hit. Because we have personal filters on people. Have you ever experienced that? These personal filters that it'll block the anointing. It's like somebody could be so anointed, so
Yes.
and God is trying to speak to you through them, but because you can only see them or you can see the old them, you're blocking your own blessing. So have you ever experienced that, Regina?
Oh my goodness. Absolutely. So I know I'm not everybody's flavor. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Okay. And that really took that was a process to be able to understand and accept that like I wasn't put here for everybody. There is a group, there is an audience, there is a tribe of people that are there for me. Right. I'm not here for everybody. And so in experiencing that, what I felt was rejection, to be honest with you. That's what it felt like to me, right? That I was being rejected. And then ultimately, as that voice starts to go, that, oh, I wasn't good enough. Oh, it's me. So just making it all on me and then having to realize, no, it's not on me. And like you said, ultimately, it was the wrong audience. So what I've experienced specifically would be, some people can't receive me just looking at me because my eyes get big.
Let me take a sip of tea on that. That's truth.
So, and it's just, it wouldn't even take the time to get to know me, get to talk to me, get to really see and look past that. And then as far as the filters go, I know I've done it myself. There's been somebody trying to tell me something I know that was excellent knowledge they was pouring into me, but I couldn't get past the way their voice sounded. The raspy
behind the person.
I just couldn't.
You disrespectful. You disrespectful.
So I had to work and knew it was me. I knew it was me. So I said, okay, Lord, you got to help me get past this thing.
No,
and hear what this person is saying.
I got a confession. So listen, that's the story of mine. People can't receive me and don't even. Yes, Lisa. That's and now Lisa, we realize it's because we're called to a certain group. We're called to a certain tribe. Our oil isn't for everybody, but child, for the people that the oil is for, you're going to help them go into the stratosphere. You're going to free them from some bondage. You're going to help them, give them the courage enough, like we talked about, the courage and enough compassion for themselves to walk in their calling and to honor their own voice. Come on.
How is LaFlower? Let me ask you this. How is the experience different for you when you see that you are trying to pour into someone that is not your audience versus the experience when you're pouring into someone that is?
Oh my gosh. It's almost like,
how did you know?
Because it's like you get filled, when someone is receiving you, when someone is receiving your oil. And it just, for me, it caused the spirit to just fall heavier and for me to go deeper and to help them even more. Like for my coaching clients, they know what it is. Like, and not to toot my own horn or anything like that, but my coaching clients are willing to pay a premium because they know what the freedom. They know the breakthroughs. They know the business strategies. They know what I've been able to help with them.
Absolutely.
And I don't put my fees out there or anything like that, but it's not cheap. It's not cheap, right? And when you're willing, when someone recognizes, the anointing, and when they recognize the gifts, or when they recognize that my oil is for them, then we locked and loaded. And we about to go get these goals. We about to go attack these goals. But it's an amazing feeling. It's like I literally start crying sometimes for them. I literally start crying because of the freedom they experience, because of how they've been stuck and stagnant for so long. It's like I literally I clap for people because it gives me joy. It's
Come
like,
on now.
It's like
that's a whole nother topic.
That is a whole nother. It's like why we can't clap for each other. I clap like when I see one of my sisters or one of my brothers. Y'all, Riley is up. I'm sorry if y'all hear her, but she is being taken care of. But literally, I literally start crying when I begin to see these people walking their purpose, or when they get freedom, when they're able to heal those wounds from their childhood. I start crying. I literally, because it's so powerful, because I know that God used me as a tool to help one of his children. And so it's an amazing feeling. And now I realize that this is a pro tip, guys. You're going to know, like, when you know your oil is not for everybody, don't waste any time in that place. Don't waste any time, because so many times we seek validation for the people that our oil isn't even for. Because they'd be like, oh, you're not making this amount of money. But let me tell you, favor, and I'll tell anybody, I would rather, my prayer consistently is for wisdom, favor, and increase.
That's it.
I don't pray for money. I don't pray for bags. I pray for wisdom, favor, and increase. I will take favor any day.
Any day.
Any day.
Any day.
Any day. Come
on.
I'm telling you, favor has made me have a life that I like. There's been months where God has just blown my mind. Even last week, 48 hours, I get a phone call. This is number favor. Flower, you were placed on my heart. Can't nobody do this but you. I'm losing sleep because of this. I send this lady the invoice. She says that's not enough.
Come on, favor.
I say, well, I gave you a 50% discount. She's like, I'm sending the rest. Favor. And I gave her, I didn't even want to charge her, but she's like, no, you gotta pay for this. And the work it literally, again, it wasn't work to me because I'm a techie person. Favor, guys, wisdom, increase, and favor, right? Wisdom to be able to operate in my lane and understand when my oil is falling right? What was you going to say about wisdom, Regina?
I was like, my prayer, all the things that you said, and then I also have to add on obedience.
Boom.
I have to add on that with
wisdom. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
True. But even in knowing sometimes that this is what you are supposed to do, and then that delayed obedience is not obedience, because God expects us to move when he says move.
So that's with your voice, and that's your purpose. Because sometimes we'll be like, God, you're not moving. You said I'm supposed to be in this area. I've accepted my calling. I'm using my voice. But when we realize that we shouldn't be in this place during this time, we need to pivot. We need to move. If we don't move, then your entire house is up for attack. You want me to tell you how I know? Because I done been through it.
We know.
I done been through it. That's another testimony.
Believe that. That's why I said that obedience. I've learned the obedience lessons. That obedience is key.
Obedience is better than sacrifice. That's
Absolutely
a good book, right? But you got to be. That's why I say you got to walk in your calling. You got to be obedient to that thing, and you got to know when your oil is not being accepted. It's cool to leave people, guys. It's cool to pivot. One of the wisest things my husband ever told me was, he was like, Flower, because I was in turmoil over this relationship. And I was like, Lord, I don't understand. It's like, because I'm supporting, I'm encouraging, but I'm not, my oil isn't hitting with this person, but I'm giving, from the bottom of my heart, right? And my husband told me, he says, Flower, sometimes you got to categorize people in your life. He says, sometimes you got to categorize people in your life. He's like, some people are only for social events. Some people are going to be a part of that inner court, that circle of trust. Shout out to the Fockers, that circle of trust. But that inner court, right? And then, but he literally had me go through, and he's like, think about it. He's like, if you just categorize people in your life, you're going to be so much happier. You won't feel stressed about relationships. You won't feel stressed about business. Because sometimes we always want to blur the lines between business and pleasure. And some things are strictly business. And that's cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've grieved relationships when God has said that season is up. And it's not so much all the time, like you said, that this person has to leave your life or not be in your life. But to your point, they're in my life in a different capacity.
Right.
Like you said, a different category. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And we have to understand that is okay. It's okay. Right. Because as you grow, as you begin to accept your calling, walk in obedience, walk in your calling, I guarantee you that everyone that you was walking with and hanging with, talking to, kicking it with, you will not be. And that is one sign that you know that you are walking and being obedient and growing and excelling, because everybody can't go with you from level to level. They cannot.
Right. One thing that I've learned from network marketing, shout out to all my network marketers out there, is residual income is a must.
Eagles Nest Travel, hit me up.
Boom. Is the people that started the journey with you may not be there to help you get into that promised land. They may not help you cross the river. They may not help you part that Red Sea. They may not help you get to that promised land. They may not help you
Moses.
Elevate. They may not, right? And that's true, right? With the Israelites, how many it was like so many people died off. New people were born. Joshua had to come over, right?
Yeah, the whole generation.
A whole generation. So you can't. I think that we're foolish to think sometimes. Now, I would love, like, one of my favorite kingdom people was, Dr. Miles Monroe.
Oh, yes.
But he was so amazing. And,
awesome.
He
so much wisdom.
So much wisdom. So much wisdom. And, he talks about that. He talks about growth. He talks about, the kingdom life. And once you really realize, it's like, as you're transitioning, everybody can't come with you. But I was like, he mentioned on one of his sermons, he was like, he has had enough grace and favor on his life that he had the same board members for 30 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's amazing, because that don't happen.
No.
That don't happen, right? Not at all. And so, but I was like, that's the picture that we all want to have. But in reality, and the times that we live in and the culture that we live in, the same people that started the journey with you, they're not going to help you reach the next level. And hell, they might not even be there.
They might not.
They might not even be there. And guess what? That's cool. Because now it's like, we know life is a relay race. Right? It's a relay race.
Come on. And we're carrying batons. And we pass them. What is your lap? Come on. Yes, right. Absolutely. I love that.
Different races for different seasons with different people, along the way.
Yes.
And when you look at it in hindsight, it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful if you really step back and allow this beautiful dance of life to happen without the stress of culture, without the stress of trying to be on all the time, without the stress of these people aren't accepting me for who I am, or I'm showing out, or I'm doing this so y'all can see me. I don't do nothing for nobody to see me. Everything I do, it's for God. That's it. And that's whether I'm doing ministry work, corporate work, business work, whatever that is, I do everything for him now. And so it's just such a relief.
Oh
And
my gosh, come on.
Because I used to be so stressed.
Yes.
They like, oh, let me make this post. Some of y'all, I know I'm stepping on some toes, but y'all be all right. Some of y'all, or they be like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but ... Stop it.
Yeah. You know exactly who you're talking to.
Stop. You know you're taking a jab at that person.
Absolutely.
Like, we have to raise up and live at a higher frequency. And for all my saints, I know that might sound new age, but Jesus rose up. He lived on a higher frequency. He didn't bask in all the minionisk. Yeah, that's a new word. The minionisk of the task of the day, because he was so focused on, I got to be about my Father's business. Like, that's why I'm here.
That's it.
Like,
but when you get that type of when you get that type of focus, it automatically changes your actions. It changes the things that you're concerned about. It changes the things that even move you. Like, whereas before, if I see something, I might get all worked up, but now it's like, it's really not that serious.
It's not. And I love, shout out to Sarah Jakes and Cora Jakes. I love being a part of my business ministries. I love that.
Absolutely.
I love it. Because, and sometimes I got to remember, Flower, if you don't get back on your post,
come on,
my business ministries, then you're going to get caught up in this foolishness. But guys, we about to jump into our sister check for tonight.
Oh, baby, they ain't ready.
Guys, the sister check for tonight. So I'm just gonna show y'all a picture. So y'all know your girl be scrolling on IG sometimes. That's where most of that sister checks come from, if y'all didn't know. So I was strolling, and I guess it's Taurus season. Shout out to my Tauruses out there. I guess it is Taurus season. But
okay.
Let me share my screen real quick for y'all.
Share that. See what we're talking about.
Let me just share it real quick. All right. Can y'all see my screen?
Not yet.
All right. There we go.
There we are.
So, disclaimer, I love my girl Lizzo. I love her boldness. I love her beauty. I love her courageousness. I just love all of it. But if Lizzo was your sister, if Lizzo was in your inner circle, y'all,
in that circle,
if y'all had a valid enough relationship to do a sister check, come on, would you say anything about this one right here? Now we know she be posting the booty and all of that. She trying out Rihanna's new panties. Hey, go for it. I might even get me a pair because they cute. Let's see what at least to say. If she was in I would have checked her. I love it. I love it. Now, Lizzo made this post, guys. It's an ad for Dove. I guess, she's, it's just an ad for Dove, and it's Taurus season. And so this is what it is. Now, Regina, what do you think about this picture?
Well,
would
I'm not gonna lie.
Would you give a sister check, or would you not give a sister check on this one?
I would, at the very least, just want to get some understanding.
What would you want to get understanding about?
Well, I just want to know why. Well, what are we seeking to accomplish right now? And when I ask myself, because I have to ask myself that question, what do you think she is seeking to accomplish in posting this particular photo? And that led me to, okay, it must be about, showing her freedom and how confident she is and comfortable in her own skin. And I'm like, I can totally appreciate that message.
Me too. I can totally.
I don't know if I would have delivered it the same way, but I can appreciate the message.
Now, mind y'all, I don't know. Somebody called it out earlier. The mug that she was holding is a booty mug. It got the little, got some cheeks on it. I'll say that.
Yeah, see, you should have zoomed in.
Oh, I'll share it one more time with y'all. One more
You
time.
should have zoomed
I don't know
in.
if I could zoom in that much. Let me see. I think I zoomed in all as much as I can.
Booty mug.
But
Well,
she got the cheeks on there. I don't think I could draw on this one.
well,
But she has the cheeks on there. For me, I would definitely give Lizzo a check, a sister check. Yeah, guys, y'all see the cheeks on the mug. The cheeks on the mug.
I can. Okay, that's a booty mug.
Yeah, that's the booty mug.
I've never seen one before.
You ain't never seen one before? Okay. Now, guys, for me, I guess I have watched interviews of Lizzo, and in their interviews, because a lot of women, a lot of, big, beautiful women, shout out to, I think I'm honorary in the club. So no shade at all. I'm juicy now. I'm happy. Well, I don't like this fupa, but another story. But in some of the interviews, she really stated that she really didn't want to be like this. She didn't want to be like this role model. She didn't want, she was doing that because she loves herself that much.
Right.
Right. But I think that sometimes when we love ourselves that much, to expose ourselves that much, I think it's a fine line that we cross, where we start sending mixed signals. Hey Gary, you love I love her too. I love some of her music. She's a flute player. Shout out to all my band people out there.
Okay.
Super talented, amazing. What did Lisa say? I just feel like it doesn't look like self-love. This looks like she's trying to convince. It could. And that's what I think that it's a fine line between self-love. And then when we go into the culture that we're living in, where a lot of times we're showing more of ourselves as an act of self-love, like, hey, I got the body, let me do it. And so that's self-love. But is that really self-love? Is that really encouraging somebody? Because everybody don't, if we just be honest, everybody don't have the bag that she has in order to do that. Everyone doesn't have the protection. It's like somebody may lose their job posting a picture like that, trying to, show how lovely their skin is after they use Dove. Now, I love Dove. Dove make your skin feel all silky and smooth.
Yes, it does.
But, I think that this is definitely a moment to, if we did have a sister that did this, a moment to just really check on her and to ask her, because this is continued stuff that she's doing, continuing to show her body. And, we're in a society where we want men to think of us as more than our body.
As more, yes.
We're fighting for, constantly fighting to be treated equally, constantly doing these things. And I know, because I know my kids gonna be like, well, mama, everybody can do it. Yes, everybody's entitled to do their own thing. But that's why I think having a community or inner circle of sisters is important, so that if you out here doing something, putting yourself out there, looking like that in these streets out here, because these social media and life streets in 2020 is real. If you out there looking like that,
it can be cruel, very cruel.
You have some confidence and self-love comes through even when you're. I definitely, because Lisa, I'm gonna have to bring Lisa on the show, because Lisa,
absolutely, because Lisa dropping these nuggets over here,
right? But Lisa is so, there's so many different beautiful women out there who, because there was a young lady at the studio at the Stunner Radio launch, beautiful woman. She, one of the ladies asked her if she was a makeup artist or a stylist or something like that, because she was clothed. She was, a big, beautiful woman. But she looked amazing. She looked so sexy in that outfit that she had on.
Come on.
She was fully clothed, right? And so I think that for these opportunities, especially when, we're going to do a show about daughters, I think that it's important to show that we can be even more sexy with clothes on. I think that the art of sexy, for me, it's like when you fantasize and when you're thinking about sexiness, that slight, that mystery increases the sexy meter.
Come on now. And I'm sorry, I might go off on something totally different, but that's a conversation I've often had to have with my young nieces. You know, as they are growing and get into those teenage years and, you know, want to do what they see everybody doing and dress how everybody else is dressing, you know, putting on their little booty shorts and all this. And I have to tell them, you don't have to do that to show who you are. I'm like, it's not necessarily made up in how you dress. Be confident in yourself that you can walk around fully clothed and still know that you the bomb. Like, you don't have to, right? It doesn't,
how do we
get
beyond that as sisters? Because a lot of times, and sisters, I'm just gonna keep it real, because I work with a lot of men in corporate and ministry, and you know, just male friends and things like that.
Come on, tell the truth.
I've had more male friends than I've had female. Just being honest. But it's like, but why do we get upset when men approach us a certain way when we're not leaving anything to the imagination? I know, again, don't come for me in these comments. I know it's our bodies. I know we have rights. I know we have all of that. Right?
I'm sorry, but I don't feel that you should be surprised. Now, if it's acceptable behavior and, if it's okay, that's a whole nother thing. But at least, at the very least, you should not be surprised that you get that type of response when you put yourself out there like that.
Well, I've come across a lot of young ladies who have put it out there like that, and they literally get frustrated with men who be like, well, you want to, like, you know what it is? Like,
can I be honest with you? I was raised by a mother and a father because he knows how men think. He knows what a certain image will portray.
Daddy really taught us what red fingernail polish.
Okay. I mean, he literally almost tried to whoop me in front of my boyfriend while I'm grown.
Or
because
ankle
I handled some blue toenail polish.
Or ankle bracelets.
No
ankle bracelets.
So when it came to how you presented yourself, what we got?
To be accepted for she is. I don't agree with her approach at all times. She is young. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think
totally agree with that.
Gary, she is so talented, and I like the fact that she encourages people to be okay in their own skin.
Yes.
Right? I just think, again, I think there's a very fine line between you opening yourself up for unwanted energy, unwanted attraction, unwanted things from men, and you displaying self-love. You know, now Lizzo has some beautiful pictures in swimsuits and things like that. But I think for this one, with the mug with the cheeks and all she had was the cheeks out, I think for me this one kind of crossed the line. And so if Lizzo was in my inner circle, or if there was someone in my inner circle that was trying to display confidence and self-love in this manner, I think I would have had a sister talk with her. I would have told her, you're beautiful with clothes on and without clothes on. But if you are seeking to be found, now Lizzo she may not be seeking to be found. This is just me. If I had a sister and she was single and she was seeking to be found by someone, I would say that, that's not the way to go about it. Right? Because maybe that's another episode where we ask the men, would you be okay with your girl being an IG model? With having all of her assets hanging out on a day-to-day basis. It's like, could you handle the pressure of the attention that comes with that? All right, Gina. So I know we got to get ready to wrap up for tonight, but any last words regarding your voice, your purpose, and the sister chat?
Hey, I think tonight was awesome. I'm absolutely loving it. Walk in your purpose, in your calling, in obedience, right? And know that not everybody is going to be for you. Not everyone will receive you, but that is okay, right? And hey, let's be confident in who we are and represent the King.
Amen. Garrett said, my daughter has to have a come to Jesus meeting. Exactly. But it's all about those examples that we provide to them. And guys, as we begin to wrap up, I totally agree with everything that Regina said. My thing is just honor your voice. Honor your oil. Know that your oil is so precious, just like, that oil that was broken, to wash Jesus's feet with, with her hair and things. Your oil is so precious, and it's for somebody. It's for your own tribe. Don't get discouraged. Keep pushing, girl. Keep pushing, boy. Do your thing, right? And if you got a friend that needs that sister check, don't be afraid to have it with them. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Uncommon Faith. We love you. We appreciate you. Grace and peace. Good night.
Hey, it's your girl Lisa Dene, and I want to tell you about a product that has changed my life. Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins. Rain products are infused with a Nobel Prize-winning material called graphene. It's the graphene strip that provides the various health benefits that can improve your quality of life during that time of the month. Listen, I've been very loyal to a certain brand of feminine products, but I've never experienced the results I get with Rain products. The difference is in the graphene strip. Using Rain products has totally eliminated the painful cramps I experience, and it can also help balance your body's pH, eliminate harmful bacteria, and help fight fatigue. Graphene moves heat away from your core to keep you cool and comfortable. Ladies, it's time to upgrade your feminine care with products that not only offer protection, but also improve your health and wellness. Place your order today and receive your premium sanitary napkins delivered directly to your door. Visit www.drfcare.com to make your purchase today. And don't forget to mention that your girl Lisa Dene and Stunner Radio sent you.